Hello, class. This week I'm presenting on my research topic, which is similar to what we talked about a couple weeks ago, but I'm talking about Mercy Otis Warren, and I'm looking specifically into how she's been coined in this term as being a founding mother. So my thesis for this project is, it is through her deep political knowledge and highly eloquent writing that Mercy Otis Warren earned the title of Founding Mother by historians. So a little bit again about who she is. Mercy Otis Warren was born in Boston, Massachusetts, but she will live much of her life in Plymouth after she marries her husband, James Warren. Together, they will have 5 sons. Ultimately, her sons are going to be a big inspiration to why she starts to do political writing, as she wants to create a better world for her boys. So they're going to be really important for her moving forward in that decision. Mercy Otis Warren had a very close relationship with her brother James Otis Jr. And she actually had no formal education, and much of her knowledge of writing and politics comes from her brother, of whom she served as almost an apprentice. So pictured here is her brother, James Otis Jr. So Warren's brother James eventually is going to fall ill, and she felt that it was up to her to pick up where he left off. So she was encouraged by her husband, brother, and several founding fathers such as John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, and Alexander Hamilton. I found through my research that John Adams was probably her biggest supporter. Often he would write her letters of things to write about that he believed she would say better than he would. And she also often sent him letters and copies of her plays and poems, stating that if she did not hear from him on his opinion, she would assume it was terrible and would stop writing. So after the events around the Stamp Act, Warren was angered by the decisions of the British and became wary of future oppression. So with this, she decided she could no longer be a bystander, but believed that it was time to act. So she took her political knowledge, which was instilled in her by her brother, and committed herself to an active role in the political fervor toward revolution. Her family had a long feud with Thomas Hutchison, and after he was appointed governor, she often wrote about his poor influence. So she wrote in her play, The Adulator, that he had evil intentions, where he was seeking personal ambition at the expense of the people. She warned that his reign would only lead to bloodshed and carnage, and she ultimately pinned the Boston Massacre on Hutchison in this play, as she insists that it was he who ordered the shots to be fired at civilians. In the defeat, Warren set out on the goal to speak to Hutchison and point out to him and the citizens reading that he was native born to the colonies, and yet he was inclined to betray them. This follows her deep Republican themes of corruption and conspiracy, and she states in her play, "Go tell thy master he deceives no more. The covered sting, the half-disguised plan, peeps through the veil and shows the abject man who for a place, a grasp of shining earth, has stabbed the vitals that first gave him birth." Again, working with the theme of corruption and conspiracy, that he has betrayed them, even though he was born in the colonies. So Warren's work is more theatrical, and she sought to both entertain and inform her audience through her satirical plays and poems, but some historians have described her works as propaganda for the revolution. Later in life, she's going to take a little bit of a turn and do more of a professional history, and in her history of the American Revolution, it is apparent in her prologue especially that Warren believed that there were many who would read her words and brush them off. But the end result is true. The people fought for a federal republic. She believed that while everything around her was changing, the essence of the revolution remained the same, and therefore she needed to put her history of the revolution on paper. And just some conclusions. Her works inspired many founding fathers and also helped them to inspire the people. Her prose and ideas helped stir political sentiment towards revolution. Even one of the more well-known founding fathers, John Adams, believed that she could inspire the people better than he could on several occasions. And these are my citations for this.